Today we're going to focus in on drawing mouths. So go ahead and glue your mouth down to your paper here. And then the next thing that we're going to do with your pencil is look at the contours of the upper lip and then the bottom lip. Okay, once again, this is what makes each of us unique. Like this girl, her upper lip is fairly thin, so I want to show that as I lightly sketch. Then her bottom lip is a little bit thicker than the top lip, but not super. And then I want to start with, I typically like to start drawing at the center two teeth. So if you see where that line is, you'll also notice you see where the gums are. The gums kind of form a triangle shape. You want to make sure that you include that. Otherwise, it's not going to look realistic. And you also want to make sure that you draw how many teeth that you see. So if you see, 8 teeth, that's all you want to draw. Don't make up more teeth. Don't do too few teeth. Otherwise, again, the proportions aren't going to look right. So now as I am going back in her mouth here with these teeth, the direction that her teeth kind of changed, and I'm going to show that. Like this tooth almost touches the bottom lip, but doesn't quite. And then this tooth does touch that bottom lip. All right, then I'm going to move over to the other tooth over here. And I'm looking at the shape of the gums. The teeth aren't square, they're rounded here in the mouth, and you want to show that. And then over here, I see a little bit more of the gums on this side. And then this one comes up and touches here. All right, we also see kind of what I refer to as a laugh line in here, so I'm going to sketch that in where you smile and you see that. All right, on her lips, if I start shading this bottom lip, you'll see there's a highlight here where the light catches it, and it's a little bit lighter towards the center. So the lips are not white like the paper. Sometimes I'll see kids who will do the outline and then just leave it white like the paper. No, the lips have some color. So I'm going to lay down some color here. And like I said, towards the center, gets a little bit lighter. And I'm going to let up on my pencil pressure. And I'm going to transition to my blending stick to show that sheen on the lip, that highlight. All right, then the top lip. It's a little bit darker here, and then as I go towards the top, it gets a little bit lighter. So I want to show that. So it's darker here, and then as I go towards the top, it starts to get a little bit lighter. And then I'm letting up on my pencil pressure, not pressing as hard, showing that smooth, gradual change from the dark to the light. I'm going to transition into my blending stick, smooth that out. I want you to notice that you don't see like a coloring book outline of the shape. That's a mistake that I see kids do, is they make like a really dark outline coloring book style and then don't show the shape of that. All right, so now if I look at the skin around these laugh lines are a little bit darker, and then the skin around this is lighter than the lips itself, so I'm going to lightly give the skin some color. And notice the direction that I'm going underneath the bottom lip. I'm following the form. And then above the top, you have to be really careful not to press too hard, because if you press too hard, especially if you're doing like a girl's lips like I'm doing here drawing, you don't want to make it look like she has a mustache. All right, I'm not done because the inside of the mouth needs some color. If you look at there, it's darker than the lips themselves. So this is going to be darker. And I'm going to press somewhat hard to show that contrast. And it starts to give the shape of the teeth. And remember, the shape of the teeth, each tooth was a little bit different, but it starts to make it look more realistic when you do that. All right, then up in this corner, it's a little bit darker. All right, then the gums are a light pink. They're not white like the paper, so I'm going to not press very hard. But I want to give those gums, that triangle shape, a little bit of color. And then I want to share kind of a tip that my high school art teacher told me. And I think it's really helpful. Because our teeth are rounded in our mouth, the front two teeth should be a little bit whiter, and then as they go back, just a tad darker. You don't want to make them super black, but these two teeth are a little bit darker than the ones over here. So I'm not going to press very hard, but just make them just a little bit darker over here on the edge to give it that rounded quality in the mouth. All right, and I need to be darker a little bit right here. Smooth that out. All right, and that's Mouse.